The National Union of Mineworkers in the Highveld Region is calling for an urgent intervention by President Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, this is to address Transnet's inability to transport coal. NUM says the inability to transport coal is threatening over 35,000 livelihoods within the sector. To talk more on this story, we're now joined via Teams by Thapelo Malekutu, NUM Highveld Regional Deputy Secretary. Thapelo, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. You know, this issue at Transnet has been reported on extensively. And now we've been reporting on coal mines looking to retrench, or some of them looking to curtail their production simply because they cannot move products by rail to our ports. The situation is clearly dire. But as a miner, paint a picture for us of the situation that you find yourselves in when Transnet is this dysfunctional.
Thank you very much. Good morning. The situation is getting worse day by day. We have already received a number of Section 189 notices. Seriti, and now we've been served by Tlenco with Section 189. So things are getting worse, and it's unfortunate because it's something that we have been raising. It's something that we knew that it was coming. We were only able to survive because of the coal price that was influenced by the Russia and Ukraine war, because it moved from 332 to 113 to date. So it means now you can only rely on volumes. You need to put more volumes to survive, of which is not happening because of the Transnet failures.
So at this point, you've got coal mines with stockpiles higher than stockpiles at Richards Bay Coal Terminal at this point.
Yes, we do have stockpile that we cannot move, and we are in the middle of wage negotiations. You know, the cost of living is too high. But we are unable to settle those wage negotiations because we have stockpile that we cannot sell. So all the employers, they are giving us the same answer to say, how are we even going to increase the salary? Because we cannot sell our coal to sustain. So that's the reason we are saying, we know that our government, we are led by government that is reactive. So we are saying that to the president, before the situation gets even more worse, he must intervene, because this is one of the easiest issues to resolve. You don't need much, you don't need to change the law. All you need to do is just to tell the Minister Pravin to give POSHIA instructions to say you must allow the other private companies to utilize your tracks. And that will also be beneficial to Transnet. You can draw reference to Sanral, where Sanral, they own the road, but all other trucks, they can use the road and pay toll. So all we are saying is to say, Transnet, you need to optimize your assets by allowing other private companies to use. So it will assist us, mine workers, it will assist yourself as an entity also to make cash.
Now that you've brought up Portia, the CEO, Portia Derby, there have been a number of entities, including political parties, particularly the Democratic Alliance. They have called for her to be relieved of her duties, saying that if there are problems within Transnet, we need to start at the top, that perhaps it starts with poor management. What is your position as NUM around this call for her to step down?
No, I think we equally agree to that. We don't think she is fit, but she can't be the only problem, obviously, because some of things they need the government. The minister must be able to step in and assist her, because I don't think there are decisions that she cannot take alone.
Because when we look at the mining sector, it's not that this will only just affect the workers. You are a very critical cog in the bigger machine of our economy. And if the mining sector cripples, then the whole economy cripples. We're all feeling it right now as we start hearing of the curtailment of production, because we need a lot of your products, all these commodities, to be exported. So has the president perhaps noted your letter? Do you have any sort of a signal now that he's willing to engage on this matter?
No, we have not yet received any response from the president. But we are hoping that maybe by today or next week earlier, he will reach out to us so that we can discuss the possible solution. Like we're saying, this is not something that is difficult. This is not something that needs more money from the government. It can be resolved through decision making.
And then the Minister, though, of Public Enterprises, what has been the interaction there? Because now you're going a step higher by requesting the president to intervene. What has been the situation with the minister?
No, we have not yet met Praveen with regards to this issue of Transnet. Our last meeting, we're only discussing the issue of load shedding, because you know that issue also impacts us as Highveld Region, because majority of the power stations, they are here. We have not yet said with the minister, and we are hoping that we might meet the minister before even the president, so that this issue can be addressed. Because now we are living the reality that we are very fearful for. We are facing retrenchment. We are in the process of retrenchment. It's not something that we are assuming that is happening. It's happening.
We all saw those reports. Yes, so it is very dire, but one would say perhaps you would have needed to start with the shareholder representative, which would have been the minister, before getting to the president. So you don't possibly fear that the president might still take you back to the shareholder representative and say, can we start with the public enterprises minister here?
The problem now is the time. We don't have a time. This is a crisis. I don't think we must allow where we are going to sit with Portia, meet to Praveen, then the president office. This is a crisis. I don't know how many letters we might get by next week. So we are not coping. So you can imagine, if the mighty Glencore cannot cope, who else can cope? Because that is an international company. They can always use other commodities to supplement the coal, but they cannot cope.
And then the relationship or conversation between yourselves as representatives of workers and the mining houses, how have those conversations been going? Perhaps to say, allow for us to interact with the president or even the minister before you start issuing those retrenchment letters?
No, we've been delaying all those things. In fact, we were warned a few months ago that this is coming. And we've been saying, no, this is something that can be resolved. But most definitely, when we interacted with some other state entity, I think it was 3 months, they said they are working on it and they will bring a proposal to resolve the issue. Up to today, they didn't reach out to us. We don't know what is happening. There is no feedback. I think we met, it was Mupolisi from some president commission there.
Thank you very much, Thapelo, for that.